Thank you, James. It's really good to be gathered, not physically, but online here together. And thank you for taking the time out this evening and joining us and sharing with us. It was a delight when I started this role and I began discovering what chaplaincy really meant and how central it was to the ministry and mission of the Methodist Church. I started the role back in September. I've been in it for 3 months, and most of that time has been connecting with individuals and organisations and learning about what chaplaincy is and how broad it is and how many different sorts of people are involved. I was delighted when I began having conversations with people across the country, and I spoke to James in the Southern Islands region, because then we discovered that James had a passion for chaplaincy, and that's why we've decided to work together to bring this event, and hopefully it will be the start of many to come. It has been a great 3 months, because as I've got to know chaplains and I've spoken to them, I've realised in the climate that we often find ourselves, where the church talks about decline, institutional decline, where the church is paranoid about its future and there's lots of anxiety about what the future might be, I found a real sense of what I can only describe as God's Spirit at work in all sorts of places through those who have responded to the call to be chaplains, to the call of chaplaincy. And it's been a privilege to hear those conversations from people who are chaplains, from people who support chaplains, people who coordinate chaplaincy groups. The same message of the real need of people and the real light of God going into the world through those people. And I have to say, there have been a number of conversations I've had where I've had goosebumps hearing about the work of chaplaincy. One of the things that I've said to many people, so if you've had a conversation with me, you've probably heard me say that I wish somebody had have said to me 10 years ago, this is what chaplaincy is, and this is what chaplaincies can do and where they go, because I would have seriously explored it as part of my vocation. And who knows, but I'm sure God had a greater plan. And that frustrates me in some senses, that as somebody who's been involved in the church for many years, has been a local preacher for quite a while, never really getting to grips with this part of ministry that I see really central to the church. And so one of the things that I want to do as part of my role in the Connexional team is to ensure that the stories of chaplaincy are heard within the church, that the stories of those people that work in the margins, that are central to our mission and ministry, but are beyond the walls of the church, that those stories are heard so that people can find hope in what God is doing, but also others be encouraged to explore that, their own vocation. There are a number of things that I'm trying to do to that. So there's some of it I outlined in, if you've seen my newsletter, that we're working on developing some of the resources. I'm at the moment trawling my way through parts of the website, trying to glean off what I can, talking to our partner organisations about how we can work together in developing things. And one of the things that's really important for me is the connection of chaplains. And we have some real good connections in some chaplaincy areas. That might be geographical, or that might be through organisations or types of chaplaincy. And then there are some people that don't find themselves as well connected. And I'm hoping that this is the start of us connecting better as chaplains, so that we can share those stories, share and mutually support each other. But also, my vision going down towards, as we build on this, is to make sure that the voices of chaplaincy are represented within the wider church. And so as we go forward, I will be looking for people who wish to get involved in being part of that voice, so that when I'm working in the Connexional team and looking at what will be useful to be resourced and supported, that those needs are shared and those stories are shared to be able to build the vision together. So it's really valuable that we have these opportunities to meet, to share, and to talk and to feedback. there's a wealth of knowledge, and having spoken to many chaplains, I've realized just how much experience we have in the church. And this is, for me, it doesn't have to be a centre outwards model. It is about each and everyone supporting one another. And I want to make sure that those people that we get quite a few people contacting us to say, I'm just beginning in chaplaincy, or my circuit's just looking at chaplaincy, to make sure we've got places to signpost them to for that support. And I know there are already many people that offer time to supporting other chaplains to help them grow and develop. My desire and vision is that no chaplain is left alone to find their own way, that we have those strong networks and we build on the ones that we've already got. So I hope that this evening proves to be a useful time together, a time of sharing. And I hope from it that when we come towards the end that we'll have some things to share that we can take away and begin to feed into what my work and what I do with the Connexional team. In a moment, I'm going to hand over to David Butterworth. I've promised him that I will keep my part short so he can have slightly longer for his part. I found talking to David Butterworth fabulous. We had a wonderful Zoom conversation, and he's one of those people that you can talk to for quite a while and really glean some gems of information. If you wish to get in touch with me, and I'm always open to further conversations, if you wish to share what you're doing and see how we might be able to support you, or if you've got anything that you'd like to get involved with, please get in touch. My email address, which I will put in the chat, is hopkinsg@methodistchurch.org.uk. Please, I'd love to hear from you. It's great that there are so many faces I recognise here tonight, but also so many names that I also recognise that I've seen in emails but not yet put a face to, so it's really good to do that.